UFOs are real, burgeoning, and not going away. All week long, we've been talking about the UFO, UAP phenomenon. Today is no different. This will be Whistleblower number 2. I think you'll find it interesting. Welcome again. I am your intrepid host, L.A. Marzulli. This is an ongoing UFO report. It's important. It's going to change everything when they show up. It's no longer the stuff of conspiracy theory, and I'll get into that. But first, a word from our trusted sponsor. Reign in wealth like King Charles with a gold IRA from Noble Gold Investments. Just as King Charles' magnificent gold crown symbolizes wealth and power, a gold IRA can fortify your own financial kingdom. Imagine the confidence that comes from a retirement backed by a tangible, proven asset. That's right, folks, it's gold. And we've invested with Noble Gold, and frankly, I'm glad we did. This asset that's not at the mercy of unpredictable market swings. A crown may not be included, but isn't a future free of financial stress a worthy throne? Like royalty, enjoy the luxury of choice. Gold, silver, platinum, or palladium, the realm is yours to command. Fend off concerns about economic downturns and let your wealth thrive with the timeless security of precious metals. This month, the first solid 1/4 ounce gold standard bullion coin ever issued with Charles III's image can be yours with your own qualifying gold IRA or 401k rollover or $50,000 or higher. Folks, you can't go wrong with Noble Gold Investments. Call Noble Gold 877-646-5347 to get started, or visit noblegoldinvestments.com. That's once again noblegoldinvestments.com. I'll say it again, folks. My wife and I invested in gold, and boy, am I glad we did. So this is our conversation with another whistleblower. This is whistleblower number 2. I met this man at a prophecy conference. He came up to me. He would not come on camera. He told me his story. You'll hear that in just a second. But for those of you who are watching, the reason why we've done 3 UFO shows, UAP shows in a row, is because of this, the debrief. Intelligence officials say U.S. has retrieved craft of non-human origin. What are we to make of that? I mean, this is it was on Fox, CNN. It's been repeated. It's been copied. The show with Elizabeth Vargas and the so-called whistleblower. It's big news. For those of us who have traveled in this, it's not big news at all. Military whistleblower claims U.S. has UFO retrieval program. So again, I talked about this a couple of days ago. A woman, we were at the Colorado Prophecy Watchers Conference. A woman came up to me and told me her father was in one of those secret military operations, as it were, and he was dispatched to a place where a crash disk had happened. They were supposed to put a perimeter around it. They did, but before they did, they got to look in the craft and he saw the bodies. So maybe more about that at another time. Obviously, he will not come on the record. These people hold everything and their non-disclosure agreements, they hold it sacred. Now, Colonel Hill, which is it's going to be in the Roswell show, which is number 7. We're in post-production on that. Colonel Hill did a deathbed confession. He was flown to Roswell. He tried to communicate with one of the dead bodies. I'm not making this stuff up. And now I think it's very apropos that we move this information forward so the people can see it for themselves. That's Elizabeth Vargas. Of course, UFO Pentagon whistleblower speaks. USO allegedly found non-human craft. Representative Tim Burchett on government UFO evidence. I believe we have a recovered craft. Absolutely. So here's my interview with the whistleblower number 2. For decades, we've heard about secret underground bases all over the United States. We've even heard the very strange and bizarre story of allegedly alien entities working side by side with human beings. Is this just an elaborate ruse? Is this a canard? It's just absolutely fantastic to hear about it. And yet, I have two whistleblowers that came on the record anonymously. Their experiences are decades apart. There is no collusion between them, and they have no knowledge of each other's stories. I leave it up to you to listen to their testimonies, to weigh what they have to say, and decide for yourself if it's true or just an elaborate ruse. If it is true, then we are much further down the rabbit hole than any of us would have thought.
At a conference last year, a man came up to L.A. Marzulli and wanted to talk to him alone. Marzulli had met this man before, so there was a certain degree of familiarity. However, nothing could have prepared Marzulli for what he was about to hear.
I just told you I spent 28 years working in top-secret classified military intelligence operations, and nothing was related to this conference we're having here, but one of the most honest men that I worked with, that's about 60 years old, was over my home 6 months ago and said he has a brother-in-law that works in a similar compartment of top-secret classified operations, and that he actually works somewhere in the Southwest in a desert area with these aliens, because I was trying to explain to him about what I've been learning through you and through these conferences about what are these UFOs and aliens. They're really demonic angels that are coming in and out of these dimensional portals. And he actually confirmed in my home that his brother-in-law works in another area of the government that we can't talk about, but it dealt with these aliens and he works side by side with them.
Did he describe what they looked like?
No, he just told me what he has heard through his brother-in-law, who also wouldn't exaggerate or pull his chains.
Did his brother-in-law, why did he confide in him? Any idea?
Guessing just fear and anxiety, and that's probably why Tim shared that with me.
Did his brother-in-law state whether he felt they were benevolent or malevolent?
We didn't get into that. He was very careful just to give me a hint that as I was explaining things I've learned through you and my own experiences in life, that his brother-in-law actually works with these non-human entities, exactly.
And did he give you is it ongoing now? I get the impression that...
Yeah,
this was going on.
I still talk to this gentleman who retired and came back into the world we worked in, and this stuff is continuous.
Continuing.
And then based on what I've learned just through watching the History Channel in Nazi Germany, this has been an ongoing...
From the 40s.
Right.
Wow. A gentleman who has to remain anonymous due to security clearances has just come on the record and told me some startling information. It's important that we get this information out, which is why the entire week has been dedicated doing UFO shows, talking about the phenomenon. It's in the news, it's in your face, it's in our faces. So what are we supposed to do with this information? As a Christian, how does it dovetail together with the biblical narrative? And I'm going to do another show for Friday, which is going to talk about some of that. I think you'll find that interesting. So in the meantime, folks, we've got a 5 DVD box set. We don't have it yet. It's in production. As I said yesterday, I would strongly suggest buying this, sitting your family down and showing it to them. Now is the time to educate your family, your loved ones, because when they show up, it's going to be a lot of confusion and a lot of fear. Now is the time that your pastor gets a hold of this. And isn't it interesting? And I'll just say this, and hear my heart here, because I'm part of the body of Christ. I love the body of Christ. I love the church. So the bottom line is this. All this broke. You would think that my email would blow up. It's not. Now, researchers have contacted me. Fans of the show have contacted me. I get that. But so far, not one pastor has emailed me or said, LA, can you come to our church and talk about this? Not one. Folks, am I angry or bitter about it? No, I'm saddened by it. I'm saddened by it. My people perish for lack of knowledge. I want to give a shout out to Calvary Chapel, Jupiter, where we were several weeks ago. Pastor Dan and Cheryl, they had us there at their at their church. It was absolutely amazing. 800 people, right around 800 people. I think they're up to 140,000 views on their YouTube channel. So we hit a nerve, and bully for them. God bless them. God bless Pastor Dan and Cheryl. I'll be in Missouri coming up here on Friday, and Pastor Steve and John and Sherry, I know a lot of folks are going to be there. They may even sell out. I don't know. Right now, you have to register. Calvary, it's Riverbend Calvary Chapel in Missouri. Friday night, there's no repeats, by the way. Friday night is a primer, about 2.5 hours long. I will do a Q&A at the end of that. Saturday morning, we'll talk about the Fatima apparitions of 1917, why that's still relevant. I think you'll find that absolutely interesting, at least I hope so. And then, of course, Saturday morning after Fatima, we'll do a deep dive into the crop circles, the secret language of the dragon, which, of course, is mathematics. Take a lunch break, come back after lunch, another presentation. This one is on the abduction phenomenon and the rungs of disclosure. I think you'll find it interesting. Anyway, folks, I just want you to know that this book, Further Evidence, is in production. We should have it hopefully by summer's end. It's a second edition. We will do pre-sales on all of this as always. Thanks so much for watching. And I just want to say that we are close to 200,000 subscribers, which is unbelievable when you think about what that really looks like. And thank you for coming to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing that. I am your intrepid host, L.A. Marzulli, lamarzulli.net, lamarzulli.net. If you've had a UFO experience, please email us, ufo at lamarzulli.net. If you have a supernatural confrontation, supernatural at lamarzulli.net. So, thanks so much for watching. Remember, folks, UFOs are real, burgeoning, and certainly not going away.